Mythics, how are we? It is another Saturday, it's 10 AM, close to 10 AM anyway, UK time. My name is Ken Boyter, and this is Edra Scrolls, ramblings of a storyteller, where we talk about fantasy, we talk about your creative projects, we talk about my creative projects, and of course we do ramble off into some other topics as well. This is Grockle Snook. He is from the Bottled Imp YouTube channel. There's over 450 fantasy book reviews, fantasy film reviews, and fantasy, what's the other one? Books, boards, game reviews, board games reviews. Not 450 of each of those, but 450 collectively. So go check it out. It's a channel that I started with a friend of mine called Julian. I host it, he films it, and together we are the Bottled Imp. And also, if you do miss any live streams from the Edra Tales Twitch channel, I do export them over to the Edra Tales YouTube channel. So if you miss anything and you want to catch up, then check it out there. Good morning, Martha. How are we? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a lovely sleep. I don't know if you can. If the music's too loud, let me know. But it's the old Oblivion soundtrack. They've recently remixed it, haven't they? They've remastered Oblivion, which is a fantastic video game. And the music's just beautiful. And every time I put it on, it really is that nostalgia. It really takes you back to when you're playing the game. Good morning, Spellsing. How are you? Hey, Ken. How are you this fine morning? I'm very well, thank you. If a little tired. People know that I tend to sleep in till about 20 to 10 on a Saturday morning. And that's mainly because I work, I'm quite a night person, I'm a bit of a night owl, so I'll be working on various projects till, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes, sometimes later. But yeah, so I really try to go, right, 11 o'clock, I've got to go to bed. And then I tend to read for, half an hour, and it's just to sort of drift off while I'm reading. But I don't know if other people are like that. But I think if you're working on creative projects, you have to, A, fit it in when you can. So if you're not a full-time writer, if you're not a full-time game designer, or a full-time whatever, and you have another job, you have to fit your creative work around that. And B, sometimes, there's certain times of the day where you feel more creative, where it just suits you better. So for me, nighttime is a good, thing. I've got a part-time job, and so I fit my creative stuff in and around that. So luckily, though, it fits in that I'm a night person, because then I can work in the evening. Hello, Lirin. How are you? And John has joined us as well. Hello, John. Hurrah! There is going to be another tabletop RPG festival next Sunday. Pathfinder 2. D&D 5, Cthulhu and Taiwanese independent games. Yay! Sounds fantastic. That sounds really good. So Lirin goes to a lot of game conventions, a lot of festivals, and and that is a great way to meet people that make the games as well. Sometimes you get people that actually have, this is my game. Would you like to buy it? Would you like to play it? Good morning, Sasha. How are you? How are you? You doing well? John's put here that, yeah, John's a night owl as well. So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to do a survey, if they ever done a survey about creative people and working at night. Because a lot of us are night owls, so... Doing well, thanks. And you? That is good. Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you. Fellow night owl, said Sasha. I thought you were. I thought you would have been. So, Sasha's an actress. She also does spiritual readings, like myself, mediumship, and also she does no, not escape rooms. Are they escape rooms? I think they're escape rooms as well. So I guess if you're doing acting as well, acting normally takes place in the evening, doesn't it? So it helps to be a night owl. Lirin's here, got a USB rechargeable tabletop campfire lamp today at the local Comic Con to help get in the mood of midnight reading. Oh, that sounds cool. Is it like a lantern? Or is it like, campfire light? So it is like that. like a flame. That's pretty cool. John's put here, it is common a lot of authors write books in the early hours of the morning. Yes, I've read that as well, or I've seen people talk about that. And maybe that's because it could be that, you know, unless you're massively wealthy and you've never had to go out to work for whatever reason, you know, most of us have to go and get a job before we become full-time authors. So it could be that the only time they could work was in the morning. You know, they'd get up at 5 in the morning and do 2 or 3 hours writing and then go to work. And then I guess if you then become a full-time author, you're probably just in that habit. Yes, Sasha does escape rooms as well. Spellslinger said, I gave you and this channel a shout out yesterday. Not to expect an influx of followers, but it helps, right? Oh, well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Spellsling. Yeah, it all helps. The more the merrier, you know. The more creative people, the more people that are into fantasy, you know, and other genres. Just the love of games, the love of fantasy stuff, the love of reading, you know, sort of like-minded people. It's great. It's great to meet those people. Leerin's put here, yes, like the type you see campfire hero gather in the 80s novels like Dragonlance. Oh, fantastic. That's really cool. Sasha's put, I also teach dance. Yes, I didn't realise it was dance, but I knew about the life drawing to hen parties. Yeah, so you host life drawings to hen parties. And she does life coach. She's a stage director and occasional writer. There you go. So, and again, that's, you know, Sasha does multiple disciplines. I do multiple disciplines. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You could argue that, well, then you're not focused on one thing. Are you ever going to become really, really, really good and an expert in that one thing? And will you succeed at that one thing? But I think it's hard to, if you've got a mind like myself or Sasha in this instant, and Martha's a bit like this as well, aren't you, Martha? Where you want to work on different creative projects. So I do writing. I have directed a show as well, actually, but writing, acting, mediumship, and I dabble in other things like illustration. I do graphic design, obviously, and now, you know, I like to be creative. So that could be anything, really. Definitely nothing wrong with it, says Sasha. As long as you know why you do all you do, it all links together. Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. You have to, I think for a long time, because I know that being creative makes me happy, I've always tried to seek out a creative job, you know, and get paid to be creative. However, that's not always easy. And so I then thought, well, I'll do it myself. You know, I'll write books and self-publish them to see if I can make money and then become a full-time writer, or do mediumship to become a full-time medium, and everything else can kind of dovetail around that. So basically just to try and give up this part-time job, that's fine, but it's not me. It's not really what I want to do. And what I find, though, is that you'll work on a project and then it has to go on hold for whatever reason. And so you think, right, you twiddle your thumbs and go, well, that's on hold for 6 weeks or whatever it is, you know. I'm going to have to now, you know, what am I going to do? So you either do another one of what you've just done, or you might get lured into other things. Like for me, board game design. Now, I wasn't really planning on getting involved with board game design. It just happened, you know. I've got a friend, Kedrick Winks, who is a board game designer. But he you know, has a full-time job. And he does board game design on the side, and unless you have a breakout big game that sells thousands and thousands and thousands of copies, you can't retire from your job. You know, you have to keep going. So he's got about 6 or 7 board games out, or card games, and he can't retire off of that. So, but you know, if you had like 20 to 30 board games that were each giving you $1,000 a year of royalties, then yeah, you could probably survive. You know, you could probably make a living out of that. John's put it can feel sometimes like spinning plates. So yeah, no, that is a good point. Yeah, that is the downside to that, where you feel maybe you're not making progress in anything. There is the downside to that. It also feels like, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, you can get overwhelmed because you've taken on too much, and I regularly do that. I've got too much going on, too many projects that they all kind of, deadlines all meet together, or it just feels overwhelming because it's like, well, I've now got to do that. So all my spare time, I have to be careful, because it can be dangerous that you spend all your spare time doing your creative projects, and then you neglect your friends and family, which is what you don't want to do. Lever Insput here, I confess I was rather clumsy martial artist before 2006. After learning waltz and tango, the joyful rhythm actually crossed over into my primary hobby, which helped me become more dexterous in it. Oh, that's fantastic. So you're dancing, when you started learning how to dance, that crossed over into your martial arts. That is brilliant, and that is a good... Yeah, so there you go. That's a fantastic example of how they can help each other. Spell Singers put, I work full time and my game book has been whole for 6 months now. Yeah, and if it's not what you wanted, then that's very painful and very sad, isn't it? Because you feel like, come on, I want to get it done. And if it's out of your control that you can't get it done, then yeah, that's very annoying. I feel for you there, Spell Sing. Sasha's put here, this is why you also have a scheduled downtime to help. Yeah, that's a good point. Scheduled downtime. I did that with the live stream I used to do live streams on Friday evening that were gameplay. I used to just live stream me playing an Xbox game, because I thought, I haven't played video games. I like playing video games. I need downtime. I need to make sure that I'm not working 24 hours. And then I gave that up because I had too much to do. So it's kind of ironic in that way. But yeah, if you can schedule it. John's put here, the trick is don't let the plate smash. Yes, yeah. Morning, Sally. How are you? Yes, happy Saturday to you. Juggling looks scary, difficult still. Yeah, no, exactly. I think, well, hang on, let me take a sip of my tea. Honeyed tea, of course. Oh, well done, you went out for a run. That is a big round of applause in this weather. Well done. That's amazing. So, yeah. I'm still sort of waking up. Martha's put it, and I remember you got scared of the cute little spiders in Skyrim. Cute little spiders. Those were the little mechanical ones, weren't they? Oh, Martha, they're horrible. Spiders are not cute. They're not pretty creatures. Come on now. Surely insects in general are just, yeah. Talking of cute, though, do you think these are cute? Let me show you. I think I showed you these before, but I have a little bit of a development on them next. So, I made, out of clay, some, what I call gobheads. The small money spiders are cute. Oh, yeah, okay, maybe the small ones. Spiders are cute. Spiders? Someone bring fire. Yes, I'm with you, Lerin. So I started to make these gobheads. And instantly I was like, oh, I could sell these. I'm like, no, Ken, just do it for pleasure, do it for joy, do it because it's downtime. It's, but you're still kind of being creative, but you're not doing it for anything. Just doing it for pleasure. So I've started to make these gobheads. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. So this is the first one. So it's a little bit crude. Then I made a few more. Now this one has lost its ears. They look a bit weird without their ears. But I've got a friend who started making resin objects. So she said to me, she heard about my gob heads, and she said, "Oh, can I use one of your gob heads as a cast to make resin gob heads?" So we've teamed up. So I said, yes, of course. So I lent her this. I thought the ears might come off when she took it out of the cast, but that's the way it goes. I'm going to put some more ears back on it. So she's started making resin ones. And with resin, you can put things inside it. So she's put grass inside that. This one, she's put lentils. And she's also added these eyes, which I think are pretty cool. And she's done a pure clear one as well, which is pretty cool. However, the ones that I really like, I think that needs to be darker. Wow, amazing. They are pretty cool, aren't they? So, but this one I think this one's my favourite because it's a solid colour. And so what I've said to her is, because she said, "Oh, just let me know what style you like and we'll make some more." And I went, "Oh, okay then." So I have said to her, if you could go for this type of look, and then chatting it through with you last time, because these are different colours, I was thinking, well, you know, goblins aren't really orange, but, you know. We then, I think it was Jam that might have suggested this, or Leaving. I might have been Leaving, I can't remember. Let's say it was me. That they said, well, look, the goblins could be eating, different tribes of goblins could be eating different types of fungi that then caught, you know, and they've developed that over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And, oh yeah, invisible goblins, I like that, yeah. And that's why they're the colour they are. So it's because they eat the fungi. So I quite like that idea. So we'll put that. So I said to her, if you could do them different colours, they're all fun, guys. Hey, there it is. Looks like Hoggle from the Labyrinth. Oh, I remember Hoggle. Hoggle's like the big guy, isn't he? Is that right? Is that right? I can't remember. I've only seen Labyrinth once or twice. And my review of Labyrinth is spicy, put it that way. Anyway, so I said to her, right, if you think of different autumn colours, let's go for autumn colours, greens, browns, sort of yellowishes, you know, copper, that kind of thing. Then you can do, if you do lots of different ones like that, then we're good to go. Then it's brilliant. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And then, because I've got a book festival coming up, I thought we would then just sell them, see if we can make any money. But yeah, it's a crystal one, invisible goblin. That's Ludo is the big guy. Oh, sorry, Sasha. Ludo is the big guy, says Spell Sing. Hoggle, the friendly... yeah, I've got a vague memory of Hoggle. Yes. Well, I didn't base it on Hoggle. But goblin's a goblin, surely. They all look the same, don't they? Oh, can you say that? Ooh, hello. Anyway, they glow differently in the dark depending on the tribe. Yes, exactly. So they'll glow differently. So this one... she has got a little shimmer in it, and also I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there's a slight tinge to it of green. So predominantly it's copper, but then she's put green in it. So that's really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably make some more out of clay and then sell them as well. I'll paint them and sell them. So I'll have clay ones and also the resin ones. Ludo says, "Hi Sarah, well funny and cute when he speaks." Ludo, yes, Sarah's the main girl, isn't it? Wait, there's very scary kids books. It was called the Fungus the Yes, there was, Lyra, in Fungus the Bogeyman. It wasn't scary though. It wasn't scary. Fungus the Bogeyman was just a really cool bloke who was a bogeyman. But I don't remember it being scary. You actually felt sorry for him, as far as I can remember. Anyone that's read Fungus the Bogeyman, back me up on that? Yeah, it's a classic English kids book of the day. They look great, Ken. Top job. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, Sarah's the hero in the film. Yeah, I I was a bit harsh on my review of Labyrinth, but I think it was because of the music. I wasn't really expecting it to be a musical. I know it's got David Bowie in it, but I was just like, And then someone said to me it's a kids' film. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just caught me on an off day. But anyway, I appreciate that it is a classic, Labyrinth, and it did really well. So what's my opinion? So there you go. So those are the little gobheads that I'm just not putting any pressure on. I'm not, it's just for fun. And then if I do sell a couple, brilliant. If not, it doesn't matter. You can't beat a bit of Bowie, right? Well, I appreciate Bowie is a massive star and he's got hundreds and thousands of fans worldwide, probably millions of fans worldwide. It's not my thing. Bowie's music is not my thing, so I can't really get into it. But I know that he's done some good songs, apparently, according to people. Anyway, let's move on before we start a music war here. We've all got different tastes, and that's absolutely fine. If someone's into something, I'm not going to put them down for that. It's like they're into that thing, they love that thing, go for it. Good luck. That's what I think. So what I've been working on recently, I've been working on two things. At the beginning of the week, I was working on To Kill a Thief, my Devilish Dilemmas and Edra Tales game book series. This is the first book, To Kill a Thief, successfully kick-started back in October. And I'll do a quick recap. The first draft, second draft, third draft is completely written. I've looked at it. I did the first draft, had a quick look at it, did again. It's out for playtesting and proofreading. So I've got X amount of people that have very kindly agreed to playtest it, which is fantastic. And I've had some valuable feedback already. Plus, Sally has very kindly agreed to proofread it, and it is over 100,000 words, so that's going to take a lot of time, which is fair enough, and I do appreciate it. Plus, my friend Claire has also agreed to proofread it. She's actually a professional proofreader, so between them, I'm sure it's going to be perfect. No pressure. And what else was I going to say? So I had hoped to get everything done and dusted by May, i.e. now. However, I think that's not going to quite happen, so I'm going to have to tip it over to June, I think, because I don't want to rush things. I don't want to rush Claire, I don't want to rush Sally for proofreading, I don't want to rush myself, because what I'm doing now is I'm actually doing the illustrations. And what I've decided to do, in my wisdom, is to do lino cuts. And, you get a little bit lino and you cut things out. Now, I have shown this already. So, would you like to see one of the pictures? Shall I just show you one? Although I've showed a few now, but do you want to see two pictures that I've already done? So what I've been doing is I've drawn onto the lino and then I've cut, what I've cut over the outlines and tried to add text to it. Because what I'm going for is... Yes, says John. Fantastic. Well, I appreciate that some people might not want to because they might want to see it in the book. Now, what I've tried to go for, let's get a picture that we've already played, that we've already seen. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, so basically, my fighting fantasy, big influence in my life as a kid. It really helped me to read. It made me see books in a different light. And part of the charm of them were the illustrations. And they're black and white illustrations in all these fighting fantasy game books. These illustrations are by Ian McCarbre. And there's some really cool illustrations. And also, though, what they did was they did a mixture of, say, monsters. And they did a mixture between monsters and just locations. So there's not a lot happening there. However, it's such a gorgeous illustration that you kind of go, oh, that's cool. Some more monsters there. And I just love the simplicity of them and the detail as well. Some are more detailed than others. But, you know, but also I realised that was possibly to do with time. You know, they had deadlines. So that one isn't as detailed, but it's still really cool. And then this one is more detailed. So, you know, look at all the detailing on there. So it's, yeah. So I thought maybe to do something slightly different, because I'm quite good pen and ink. And I used to do lino cuts, you know, when I did art school. I did a couple of years at art school. But I never got on to do an art degree. I did like foundation art and prep art and stuff like that. So I've done a couple of years at college. So I'm okay at drawing. I'm okay. So here we go. So I decided to do lino cuts. So there we go. So this is a lino cut, and hopefully you can tell what it is. Oh no, you can't say that anymore. Can you tell what it is yet? So there we go. So that should, you know, that should help evoke the setting that I want for that paragraph. Yeah, it's one of the location. Spell sings, but love Ian McCraig's work. Yeah, Ian McCraig, fantastic. Had the pleasure of seeing him talk about his work as well. He was at one of the Fighting Fancy festivals that Jonathan Green organises, and where are you, Jonathan? Where are you? Why aren't you watching? No, he's probably out enjoying the sun. Why wouldn't you be? And yeah, and such a fantastic talker about his work, funny, enthusiastic. You know, went on to do Darth Maul. You know, worked in Hollywood on films. Really nice guy, really down to earth, and really wanted to help people with their art as well. He said afterwards, he said, I'm out in the foyer. If you want to come and chat and you're an artist and you want some advice, just come and chat with me. So it was brilliant. I really like that. Good job. Oh, thank you very much, John. But that iconic manticore is still what appears in my mind's eye when I hear the name, of said creature uttered. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've never played Death Dungeon. We're doing a live stream. We're live streaming it now every Wednesday. We've just did part 1. If you want to check that out, go to the Edra Tales YouTube channel. And I didn't know where that was from. I've just realised it's from here. But I've seen that picture and gone, wow, that's an amazing picture. So, you know, that's lovely of him. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. Spell Singer's put a brilliant job, Ken, even with the Rolf Harris quote. Yeah, I know. I sort of said it without realising I was saying it. Why do they go and spoil things? Right. Lyrian's put, that kind of like Jam's perilous Tavern on Gavel. Oh, I see. Oh, does that look like does it? Wow. The Tavern on Gallows Hill. There is a Gallows Hill in my hometown where I live. It's called Gallows Hill. There must be other Gallows Hills around Britain. Rosalind has joined us. Hello, Rosalind. How are you? I can't speak French. It's not French. It's not French. Hello, Earthling. Splungdig von Thrig. Is that alien talk? And is that 2000 AD fans? Any 2000 AD fans out there? I'm sure Lyrian will be a 2000 AD. Oh, you're all about 2000 AD today. Okay. I never got into 2000 AD. I did see the Stallone film years ago. John likes Judge Dredd. There we go. Massive event here in Orkney at 2 p.m. Oh, fantastic. Surely that's a euphemism in a lovely town. So there we go. Yeah, Judge Dredd. I did see the Stallone film, which I really liked. And I will show you one other illustration. There we go. That's another illustration from the book. So these are, as I say, these are lino cuts. So you can see it bend. And I do have another one on the back. I've been double-siding these because it's quite nice and thick lino. But I'm not going to show you all of that. I'm not going to show you all of that. Nice lino. Thank you very much. Spell Sings, but hi, Rosalind, was watching your Nightmare read-through. Top job. Yes, Rosalind has her own YouTube channel. I believe it's just under your name, isn't it? Rosalind Carly. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Where she does unboxings of fantasy goodness, and also she does read-throughs as well. So that's cool. This guy really likes my vids. Fantastic. So, yes, so there's 2 of the illustrations. Now, I've done 1, 2, 3. I've got more of them here, but I'm not going to show you. 4, 5, so I don't want to spoil them. That's the other one that I've shown. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've done 6 illustrations, and I'm gearing up for my 7th illustration today. I hope to get it done today. I might not get it done today, but I'll get it done over the weekend. And so each of these take about 3 hours to do. So what I'm also going to do is obviously ink them up, and then make prints out of them. And so I have access to a press that you mangle it through, which is really cool. So I'll be doing that, and then I'm going to be selling the prints separately as well. So I might do, say, 10 or 20 of each one, and then start selling those as well. And because I've got this stall, Hertfordshire Book Festival Hearts Book Festival is happening on the, I think it's 15th and 16th of May. I've got a little stall, so I'll put prints there as well, and also I'll be selling the gob heads, as well as my Of Magic and Monkeys book, and my other book, The Legends of Grimace Ironblood. The comic magazine was called 2000 AD Heavy Metal, right? Was it called? I don't think... Yeah, Heavy Metal was a separate magazine, as Rosalind says, yeah. Stunning drawings. Well, thank you very much, Sasha. I appreciate that. A lot of people like the art of both, though. Yeah, art gang. Yeah, I think this is interesting, isn't it? With the fantasy genre, maybe sci-fi and horror are also the same. But people like... If you read a book and there's illustrations through it, people love that. And so the illustrations in something, certainly in fighting fantasy and game books, the artwork is part of it as well. That's part of the experience. Make all kind of fancy art. Yeah, absolutely. So that's where I'm at with the devilish dilemmas. That's where I'm at with that, to kill a thief. So I think I should get the book finished, everything wrapped up, and out to people in June. So if you have booked the back, I'm still waking up. If you have backed the book, I've done it again. Then hopefully, fingers crossed, June, you'll get the book June, which will be a slight delay, but I'm sure you can forgive me. Martha Spirit, can you please save one of those books with kin for me? Yeah, I don't have the money for the moment, but I will soon. Absolutely, I will do. I have the book festival coming up, but I will keep back about 5 books, because there's some other people that have asked me to keep back a book for them as well. So I'll definitely keep back about 5 copies, because I got 40 printed, and that was it. 40 printed, that's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. I'm saying that for now. Maybe in about 5 years' time or 10 years' time, I might do a special edition, an anniversary edition in hardback. So never say never. But as they are now, the first print run, first edition, there's only 40 of them. So they're quite limited. So what else I've been working on? And the other project that I've been working on is my bee game. We've got UK Games coming up. Now, those of you that haven't been to UK Games Expo, if you love board games, if you love role-playing games, if you love cosplay, if you love seeing live geeky shows, it's all there. If you want to mix with publishers, board game publishers, mix with designers, board game designers, and if you just want to go and play games, because they've got a massive area for just playing games, UK Games is massive. It's in Birmingham. For my overseas people, that's the middle of the country, and so it's quite accessible for all areas of the country. So I'm going there this year because we've got our board game, our tile laying game, that's being published by Outset Media and Cheatwell Games. I'm going to be on their stand again because I was there last year demoing Kedrick and I's first game, The Crooked Crown, We've got another game coming out with them called Guildlands. And, oh, I'll tell you what, let me get the cover for you, because I don't think people have seen this one. Well, some people haven't, anyway. Let me just... Oh. There we go, take it off the other dungeon wall. It's actually quite a spacious dungeon, to be fair. So, yeah, that is our latest game. Kedrick Winks and myself, that's our latest game. I see a spider. No, you don't. No, you don't. Oh, Levin's put here. I generally steer clear of dystopian fiction unless there's a noble heroic point to the suffering, e.g. Alien, Mad Max, even Blade Runner, yeah? Hopeless, cynical settings, Warriors Dune will be ones I can avoid. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I always like to have that little bit of hope within dystopian ones. Rothin's, but I find relentless dystopian despair a bit much, especially in game books. I really like Dan Jarop. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. Dan Jaropatha. But it obviously has more to it than just despair. I see. Spider, big fan of 4-0 escape games. Oh, okay, but obviously they're games, etc., as well as having despair in their settings. I'm also going to buy that. That's right down my street. Sorry, it's Japanese. Oh, it's Japanese. Oh, there you go. That's why I couldn't say it. That looks good. Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree with you. I love Blade Runner, even though it's dystopian, even though it's, it's film noir. I love film noir. So that moodiness, that grittiness, the melancholy, but there is that glimmer of hope in it. And I think I personally like that glimmer of hope. Hence my love of Dark Souls series. It encourages you to never give up and shows that caring for and reaching out helps your fellow human being make a positive difference in the world. Yeah, absolutely. And that's really what it's about, isn't it? Life. It's about helping people. It's about being kind. It's about being kind to yourself. Trying to help people. Absolutely. I've not played the Dark Souls series. Maybe I need to video game that. Maybe that's the next one to live stream. So here we have Guildlands. Yes, so it is designed by myself and my good friend Kedrick Winks. It says, choose your guild, lay your tiles, rebuild the city. And so the artist is an artist called Blue, and he's done a fantastic job on there. And it represents basically what you're doing in the game. You're trying to rebuild a city with tiles, and each guild, so each player plays a guild, you score off your own symbols. Now the symbols are on the same tiles as other players, so you might have a tile that you want to play, but it's not your go, and someone picks that tiles up and plays it and puts it somewhere completely different where you wanted it. So there's two ways to play the game. Well, there's loads of ways to play the game, but in terms of strategy, do you concentrate just on your own tile and your own symbols, or do you start sabotaging other people? It's probably a bit of both. That's probably what's going to win you, because obviously by sabotage. So if you can't score straight away on your tile, you could sabotage someone else, so they're losing points. So in effect, you're gaining points because they're losing points. If that makes sense. As they say, love is the answer. Exactly, love is the answer. What song's that? All you need is love. Long may the sun shine, and don't you ever go hollow. Oh, what's that? What's that one from? I don't know that one. So yeah, so this is Guildlands. So that is being, we're going to demo that at the UK Games Expo for 3 days. And then it's being launched, I believe, in Origins the following month, or in June in America. So that's really exciting. And I am going to be pitching, hopefully, fingers crossed, a couple more of my games. One of which is my murder mystery games, Devilish Deaths. And another one is my B game, Misbehave. Misbehave. Now this one is a family lightweight set collecting game where my murder mystery is a slightly more complex murder mystery game. The clue is in the title. So what I've been doing is I've been working on the prototype. So this was the very first prototype that I did. It's a little bit rough. I've not trimmed it up properly. I've just got it Just got it ready for sort of play testing. And, you know, sometimes I've put little biro marks on the cards because I've changed the rules, that kind of thing. So it's, you know, it's fine. It's perfectly good as a playtest copy. I probably could also use this as the pitch copy to publishers, because publishers know that they're not seeing the final game. And a lot of publishers like to put their own artwork in, obviously. And this is just stock imagery. They can't use this. This is just for the purposes of playtesting, just to make it look clear. Guildlands looks great. I so want a copy. Oh, thank you, John. Yeah, that's very kind of you. It's a very good game, even if I did say so myself. It's thinky. It's a thinky game, because you're each trying to score from your own symbol, but you're each trying to score in a different way. So you might know how you score, but obviously when you first play the game, you're not necessarily going to fully understand how the other guilds score. So it's one of those replayable games. While it's like chess. You learn, the more you do it, the better you get at it. I know that's for any game as well, but it really is that kind of, you learn about, so say you're playing the gardeners, and you're learning about how to score the most point out of the gardeners. That might take you several goes. But then there's 6 different guilds that are scoring 6 different ways. So then it's like, oh, well, now I better play... Yeah. And then it's for 2 to 6 players. So even a 2-player game is going to be different every time, because you've got 6 guilds that both of you can choose from. And then you've got... Say you're playing the druids versus the gardeners. That's going to be a very different game if it's the wizards versus the merchants, for example. So there's lots of other different combinations going on as well. Sasha's Pair, I wonder if mental health is being explored more in fantasy writing today. It may well be, but just curious. Yeah, it probably is. From Dark Souls 3 and 1. It probably is, Sasha, yeah. I guess it's what authors of the day write about, and what they feel they want to, what themes and topics they want to include. Be there or be square, like it, or don't be square, be a hex. Roslyn's put it, Gavin Ingalls does this, but he's quite an offline guy. Brilliant guy, except branching narrative writer and teacher. In my opinion, I'm fairly sure he even has text adventure game about mental health. Yeah. I mean, fantasy has probably been doing that. I also think that a lot of themes have been written about for years and years and years and years and years. It's just that when a new generation come through, they don't know that. So they might write a book going, this is the very first time this has ever been done. And you're like, well, no, there's loads of examples of it being done before. But that's not taking anything away from that achievement. It's just, it's not necessarily the first, or maybe themes come in waves, you know, so it might be in the 50s that fantasy writers were writing about mental health, then it kind of dies down, and then it's come back again. Maybe. I don't really know. I've not done a proper analysis of it. I vaguely recall playing it. It was about a conversation with someone on the cusp of suffering from depression. Well, there you go, yeah. Oh, I've been paying attention for like 37 years. Good. That's what we like to hear. This is true indeed. I'm telling people about stuff for this reason. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Themes come back, you know. So I guess it's very difficult to come up with a new theme. I don't know. I mean, nobody knows everything. So, yes, I've been working on a new prototype for this. Yes, Rosalind is a big nerd, which is gorgeous. So I've been working on 2 things. I submitted this to the speed dating at UK Games, and it's not as dodgy as it sounds. It's basically where the publishers get to meet the designers, or the designers get to meet publishers. So what you do is you submit a rule sheet of no longer than 2 sides of A4, and you also submit a pitch sheet, which I don't know where my copy has gone, and that's just 1 side of A4. And if you want to, you can submit a video as well, just a brief video showing the publishers how to play the game. And I've submitted the B one. The deadline was the 21st of April. I've also submitted the Devilish Deaths one, the murder mystery, and so that's good. So hopefully, if one publisher, it only takes one publisher to like your game and want to see it, then you're in the playtesting. Then you get 5 minutes to pitch your game to each publisher that will go around each table. He basically takes them all to dinner. Then they submit who wants cinema later. Yeah. It's actually very saucy. Know all about depression. I have it, and I had it for 11 years now. Yes, big hugs for you, Martha. Big hugs, absolutely. It was on a previous show. Yes, is that me? Is you talking about me talking about the speed dating? Frodo is as much an allergy for PSC and depression as John Rambo is. Yes, Rambo also started as a novel. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this is it. I think, and it's also how authors and filmmakers and board game designers and it's how creative people put it into their books and their work and their films. It's, that kind of makes a difference, I guess. For me, if something's too obvious, it feels forced and unreal. If they subtly weave it into the story, then that, for me, that's how I like to read or to see something happen, or hopefully how I like to do it. Your Saucy Speed Date show. Oh, yes. Yeah. Saucy, you're right. Saucy speed dates. Remember, we all matter, and that includes you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We all matter. We are all energy. We're all children of the light. So yes, I've been working on this. So what I've done is I've worked on the rules again, and also I've made a complete new version of the prototype. So when I pitch it to publishers, it's going to be a new prototype. I need to print it off yet and make it, so this is still the old one, because I've been playtesting it since, and I've made a few changes to the game. So even though I've pitched it as this set of rules, when I do the pitch, hopefully, fingers crossed, there are some slight rule changes, but that's fine. Publishers understand that games keep developing and designing. Even after you've designed a game and you get it signed by a publisher, both the publisher and the designer might still design it and develop it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make a set of rules that are hexagonal shape. So I've managed to typeset and make the rules all on it's like that, all on a booklet. It's going to be a little booklet that's that shape, because it then can fit into the actual box properly. Look at that. I'm so excited about that. It's an obvious thing to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So when you open up the box, you'll see the rule book there, and then you'll go, oh, rule book, lovely. So that's what I'm going to do. Virtual hug to Silver, absolutely, to Martha. Oh yes, Martha. Yeah, love, yeah, exactly, agree. If you need, exactly. I felt like deleting my book, been working on it, I feel it kind of sucks. Martha, please don't delete it. We said this last time. Keep it there, because you might change your mind about it. It might, it's probably not as bad as you think it is. Thank you very much, Sasha. Yeah, a rubbish book is still processed. Keep going. Absolutely. There are people out there that will say, oh, I'd love to write a book. And they go, well, go for it. Go on then. And then they don't do it. So you've got past that stage. You're in the thick of the book. Look at the time. You're right, Martha. Yes, look at the time. Remember, a rubbish book is... Yeah, top job, Ken. Looks great. Thank you very much, Spell Sing. Look at the time. Yes, there's a spider behind me. There better not be. Does anyone else put conkers in their house to keep spiders away? So that is, so next week I'm going to be printing out and sticking together, making the rule booklet in that shape, and also printing out the new prototype. Then that is ready for UK Games. The other thing I have to get ready for UK Games is I'm looking at the new, I might do not a complete new prototype, but some of the cards on Devilish Deaths, the murder mystery game. So I need to look at that as well. Plus, I've got my book fair coming up. I have resident spiders. Yeah, Rosalind likes spiders. Martha likes spiders as well. Sasha's put, I'm still writing mine and came back to very recent, so you can do it. You can too. Yeah, Sasha. I started helping Sasha, and it was a short story. I was going to help her with a short story, and she had so many ideas. I said, look, this is... Well, I didn't say this. I wanted her to learn it on herself, and she did. She sort of realised, oh, I've got so many ideas and so much sort of material and plot that this isn't going to be a short story, this is going to be a novel. And I was like, yeah, it is going to be a novel. And so Sasha's you've written quite a lot of it, haven't you? And then she put it to one side because other things in her life took over. But she's going back to it, and that's exactly what you can do. You can some people go back to their novels years and years afterwards. Totally right, Ken, because you're writing silver, that is in itself a success. Yeah, absolutely. Writing a book is difficult. It can be difficult. It's a mental process. It's a mental exercise. It's a mental challenge. And so therefore, you know, my advice is always finish the first draft, and don't worry if it's good or bad. You might have written first draft the best book ever. You might have written the first draft the worst book ever. It doesn't matter, because then you look at it, you know, you put it to one side for a number of months and you come back to it with fresh eyes, and then you start reworking it and rewriting it. And you talk to any author, I would say 99% of authors work that way, where they sort of go, first draft, and then they work it, because no one is going to read that first draft that you don't want, you know, for them to read. You know, that's not the finished article. It's work in progress. Martha's better. Mine started as a short story already. Yes. Oh, yes, it's that one. So Martha's one started as a short story. Exactly. And you wanted to continue it. They had Quill Illustrator at the primary school I went to. Used it on primary 1 and 2. Oh, fantastic. I made absolutely turds of game book adventures, no doubt. Yeah, but this is it. But you're enjoying the process. And that comes way back to what Sasha said earlier. Why are we doing this? Why do we like to do creative projects? And hopefully it's because you enjoy doing it. And I would say that is possibly the number one reason why you should be doing creative projects, not because you think, oh, I'm going to make money. Now, I know, Martha, you don't think like that, but that's, I always say, why do you want to write a book? Or why do you want to make a film? Why do you want to do this? Yes, Martha did won the card competition with that one. Kind of got my ego up in a good way. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely, Martha. Why they bought it for like 3 kids, I don't know, but it was amazing. Yeah. Well, it was to encourage you, but even then, yeah, Rosalind, can you put a value on inspiration? You know, a monetary value on inspiration. Do you see what I mean? You were inspired by that. I got to go to my gaming club very soon. Yes, we better wrap this up. Thank you so much. Remember, Martha, every mighty noble red oak tree started as a little sapling. You just planted one. Oh, that's fantastic, Lirin. Yeah. I was like 5. I paid nothing. Yeah, but this is what I think. I think it's, you know, our duty to pass on knowledge or to help the next generation. So that's what the you know, your teachers were doing. They were passing on and helping the next generation. I loved it. Yeah. Well, I used to go down to the library and try and find the Fighting Fantasy books, and I used to get fantasy books from the library because we couldn't always afford to buy books. So I'd gladly nip off down the library and look at the fantasy section. I can upload videos when I go to 2000 events. Yes, fantastic. It's always good to report back on fantasy conventions, and well, it's sci-fi, isn't it? Isn't that Star Trek Next Gen? Well, really, is that their message, to help inspire? You can't put a value on inspiration. Like the He-Man playthrough, spelling question more weeks ago. Yes. Spell Sing. Fantastic. Yes, so if you haven't checked out Rosalind's channel, go check out her channel. Also, what else was I going to say? Yeah, I think that's everything. We'll wrap it up now. Thank you so much. It's a fun book, He-Man and the Memory Stone. He-Man's always fun. Always fun. Oh, here we go. Uncomfortable Coffee Spot 8. Pot 8. Best viewers. These are the best viewers. Sorry, Uncomfortable Coffee Pot. I've got the best viewers. Thank you very much. I've got the best viewers. But I appreciate you thinking that. And hello. Why am I talking to a bot? Anyway, thank you very much. Love He-Man adventure books from my childhood. There you go, exactly. We'll get inspired by something. And then hopefully, you know, if you're creative, you can pass on your inspiration by creating what you do. And it just keeps going. Great stream as always. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sasha. I appreciate that. Yes, we'll wrap it up now. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure as always interacting with you, chatting with you. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Spellsing. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sally. Who else popped in? Thank you, Lirin, obviously. Have I missed anyone? My memory's getting terrible. Thank you to all that watched, all that commented. If I haven't mentioned you, I do apologise. And if you want to follow the channel, please hit the follow button. It's great, kind of helps with the algorithms. And if you want to pop over to the Edra Tales YouTube channel, you can hit subscribe there as well. That'd be fantastic. But do what you want. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Tip-top stream. Catch you next. So the next live stream will be this Wednesday, where we play through part 2 of Death Trap Dungeon by Sir Ian Livingstone, 7 PM UK time, and we play for about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. There we go. So it's Death Trap Dungeon, 7 PM, right here on the Edra Tales Twitch channel. Thank you very much. Enjoy the sun, everybody. Take care. Yes, and you, Sally. Thank you very much. Yes, good sunset. Thank you very much, Rosalind. Take care. Bye-bye.